Okay, we've talked a lot about what Delicious is and how it works and the value of the tags and the bundles and the social aspects of the bookmarking. You're probably asking yourself, how do I bookmark something? I've created a Delicious account and now how am I going to bookmark things? Well, there's several ways to do it. First, I'm going to show you the less convenient way, and then I'll show you how to get some particular buttons in your browser bar so that it can be even more convenient for you. Okay, say I had been to this website right here, and I'm just going to copy that URL, and that's what I would like to bookmark. Now I have my Delicious account open, and over here in the upper right corner, and let me zoom in on that a little bit so you can see it better, it says Save a New Bookmark. So I'm going to click on Save a New Bookmark, and I'll zoom back out, and that brings me to a page that looks like this, and I'm just going to paste in that URL, and then I'm going to click on the Next button. That opens this up more so that I have a place to put in a lot more details. This is the URL that I pasted. It automatically generated the title from that website, from that URL. If what's there works for me, it's clear enough what that is, then I can just leave it. But if I don't like what it put there, I could change it. You aren't stuck with what title it automatically generates. Here in the notes, I could write a description. Sometimes you see the title of the website, but you go back and you think, was that the one? And what was really on that site? And so a description can be very valuable. I often don't take time to write a description, but then later wish I had. So think about that. You can write a description to give you a little bit more information, or if someone else is sharing your links, you've shared this with colleagues or so forth, having a description there helps them because they haven't necessarily been to the site in the first place. So the title may not be meaningful for them. It isn't going to be ringing a bell because they haven't been there before. Then down here, you can put in the tags. Now, I've actually already bookmarked this site once, so it already has the tags that I put in there before. And again, I could add as many tags as I wanted to. This I put in because this is a conference that I heard about it at or was using it at, and it's a collaborative site, so I have collaboration as one of my tags. If I wanted to continue adding tags, I could do that. Just put a space between them, and that's how it knows that it's a new tag. Maybe I want this to also be tagged for online community. Okay. If I do online and then a space, it's going to think it's two different tags because the space is what defines a tag. So I don't want to leave a space because then I would have a tag of online and another tag of community. I want it to be a tag that's online community. So I could make it all one word. What I tend to do, as you can see from my drop down here, maybe if I zoom in a little bit better, you can see that better, is I usually use the underscore when there's supposed to be a space. And that connects it so there's no space, but it still looks like two words, but it is connected. Okay, and maybe I also want to, I think I have as you can see, as I start to type, it brings up my tags. I want to label that Web 2.0 because it's about Classroom 2.0. That's one of my tags. And I actually have it two different ways because, and I often will do that so that I don't have to remember which way when I'm searching. You know, I might write it this way, I might write it that way. Sometimes I think of all the possible ways I could write it or say it and put all those as tags because then later I don't have to remember, you know, what one tag. I can be close enough, so I'll just choose that one and then I'll try again and I'll use this one. Okay. If I wanted to, let me just zoom it back a little bit. If I wanted to send this link to somebody, a colleague of mine that is on Delicious and I know their Delicious account name, I could put their Delicious account name here. For instance, oops, I'm not clicked in the right spot. Let me click down here. And for instance, I know that Ben Rudd is in here, and I could send it to him. And so if you mark that to send to somebody up here, you'll see that, well, not in this window. I'll show you later. Okay, if I wanted to mark this as private so that I'm the only one that sees it, remember those little padlocks? Then I would click right here. And when I'm finished, I just click Save. Whoops, I just sent Ben that tag. I didn't necessarily mean to, but I'll have to explain to him why I did that. Your inbox right here, and that's what I was looking for, which wasn't on the other screen. Let me zoom in. If somebody sends you a link, your inbox will indicate that you have a message. And then when you click on it, it'll say, you know, so-and-so sent you this link, or the link will be there, and you can look at it and decide if you want to bookmark it yourself or not. So just come out of there. Now, another way that's actually a little bit more convenient, so you don't have to have your Delicious account open, is with buttons that you can put in your browser bar. And let me show you what those buttons are up here. I have a Post on Delicious button right up here in my browser bar. And depending on what type of browser you're using, if you're using Internet Explorer, the buttons might look a little bit different. If you're using, this is Firefox. If you're using Safari, the buttons have a little bit different look to them depending on your browser. But in essence, they all work the same way. If I wanted to go to my Delicious account, I also have a button that's called My Delicious. So that if I click that, it opens up my page like this, right in my Delicious account. But for instance, if I was on, let's say, this website, and I wanted to bookmark this, I wouldn't even have to have my Delicious account open. In fact, let me come over here and close my Delicious account. So say I'm on this website right here, and I'd like to bookmark that. All I need to do once I have the button in my browser, and I'll in a minute show you how to get that, I just click Post to Delicious, and it automatically brings up that little window like we were just looking at, where it puts in the URL, it puts in the title, I can put in notes and tags and so forth, just the same as I was just doing. The nice thing is that I didn't have to leave this website. I didn't have to copy anything. I didn't have to open my Delicious. I didn't have to paste. It's a lot fewer steps. Just opens it up. I put it in there. When I'm all finished, I click Save, and then this window goes away. I'm just going to click Cancel, and I'm still on my website. I didn't have to leave my website. Now, in order to get those buttons in your browser, let me show you how you do that. That I have to do from my Delicious account. So I'm going to use the button that's just My Delicious, and it will open my Delicious account right here. Okay. Now, to get to a spot where it tells you how to get the buttons and put in the buttons, again, I'm going to click on Save a New Bookmark, even though I'm not actually saving a bookmark at the moment. And right here it says, again, let me zoom in on that. Did you know saving bookmarks to Delicious is much easier with our bookmarking tools? So you click on the bookmarking tools, and then, oops, let me keep that scrolled. Move over this way a little bit. It's right up here, browser buttons for saving bookmarks. And it lists your browser. So if you use Firefox, you click there and follow the steps and directions for installing the buttons. If you use Internet Explorer, you click there and again follow the steps. It'll step you through it. It'll have how-to pictures and so forth. Or if you're using some other browser, like I'm on a Mac, so I might be using Safari as my browser, then I will get the bookmarklet buttons for any other browser. Okay. So depending on what you're using, and that's how you get the little buttons that put up in your browser, which are extremely handy